When you've been out of New Zealand for a while and you come home, you expect things to have gone up in price. People can't wait to tell you, just you wait till you go shopping. You won't be able to believe the price of groceries. Petrol's gone through the roof. But there was one thing that we really weren't expecting to be quite so expensive. When you just think, I don't believe this. It has cost me $400. In this week's episode, we're going to share with you what it was like to come back to New Zealand after being away for so long and tell you the one thing that really did take us by surprise. It's a Drama, coming to you from Taranaki, New Zealand.
Hello.
Daddy, I love him!
Mother thanks you.
Right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to the It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
I'm Brian.
And today, my friends, we bring you this podcast from Taranaki, New Zealand. We are back.
Back in the land of the living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, what I was going to tell you is this thing.
That's what it feels like, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. How long have we waited? How long have you waited, more importantly, for us to be sitting back on our deck in New Zealand, just chewing the fat about some life stuff in New Zealand?
Yeah.
How long have you waited for that? You've waited 6 months.
6 months before we saw the Tasman Sea again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those who are new to the channel, we are Liz and Brian, husband and wife. We emigrated to New Zealand from England 13 years ago, 13 and a half years ago, actually.
Yeah, it's catching on now.
We talk about everything New Zealand, life in New Zealand, travel, just stuff about life in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, yeah.
And for the last 6 months, we've been traveling Europe. And the wonderful people on this channel stayed with us and came along for the ride on that journey. And I don't want to well up, but it's just been one hell of a trip, and it's just been gorgeous knowing that you've all been here with us.
Yes.
So
and hanging on and waiting for us to get back as well. Because like Liz was saying before, people leaving comments saying, just like to get a cup of coffee and watch you guys.
Yeah.
So there we go. Thanks very much.
So on this podcast episode, we are going to be talking about our flight back to New Zealand. To know about something there. The most expensive haircut I've ever had in my life in New Plymouth, Taranaki.
As you can see.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
And what else did we say we were going to talk about? We said we were going to talk about, we've got some sad news that we wanted to share with you.
Yes.
And just getting back to life in New Zealand after being away for 6 months. We rented our house. We left our kids with my mum. They went and stayed with my mum. Our kids are 18 and 21. And the dog and the cat, and rented the house out to a really lovely lady.
Left the car with them.
Left the car with who? The kids?
No, your mum.
Yeah, left the car with my mum.
Yeah.
And what are you doing that for? What are you doing?
Nothing. It's just lots of spiders webs in it now.
And just coming back and just coming back to life. And we just wanted to share what that first week back. We've been back a week now, and we just wanted to share what that first week has been like. So
It's not been easy, has it, Liz?
No, it hasn't.
No,
Brian. We've had some ups and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always a bit. I must admit, I don't really like that term.
No.
It's when you
like,
listen to it.
you listen to like, Steve Wright's Sunday Love Songs on
BBC Radio 2.
And and they talk about been married now for 50 years. I've had our ups and downs.
Yeah, and me and Brian always
you've
go,
only had ups.
Yeah, can't they think of something better to say than we've had
Don't
our
say
ups and
downs.
downs?
Yeah, that's the end of your life, mate.
But anyway, we've had our ups and downs.
Yeah.
And now we're back. And
the
first thing we want to talk to you about is, remember we told you Brian was gluten-free, that he was diagnosed with being gluten intolerant before we left.
Yes, yeah.
Go on.
No, that's it. That's fine. Carry on.
No, you just about to say something.
No, I was, yeah.
Well, what was it?
I don't know, because I'll go and spoil what you're about to say, so I'll just let you carry on with that bit.
Learning, Brian. Well
there
done.
you go. Did you see that?
Yeah. That shows good restraint on your part.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. But we've been all over Europe, and it's been absolutely fine. It's been brilliant. It's just been the countries that we've been to, we've made, I don't even want to say managed, because it's been better than managed, doesn't it?
But the thing is like, you just got to cut out certain things, mainly wheat, rye and barley and stuff like that. And realistically, it's not that hard, really. You just don't have bread with your meal or that sort of thing. But when you order a gluten-free meal, it's another thing.
So we're booking the flights, and Brian goes, do you know what? I'm going to order a gluten-free, because all the other flights, we just got the meal and just didn't eat the bread or didn't eat whatever it was.
Well, the thing is, I'd booked the flights, and because I literally only got diagnosed a few days before, I didn't even think about it.
No.
And before we flew, and then New Zealand were fantastic on the way out to, they were bringing me little bits from first class, some green salads and stuff like that. It was really good. But we flew out of New Zealand back from Hong Kong to Auckland and chose the gluten-free option. And I just have to say, it was pretty dire. It was, I knew, said, I'll be like you, because you get, if you order a special meal, just means without bread, really. That's it. They bring it about half an hour before everything else.
Well, I'll be honest, Bri. This is the honest truth, right? I'm not gluten intolerant, but I've cut out gluten so I can pretend that I am gluten intolerant. So it sounds like good to people, because
being a good wife.
Look at my husband, I'm like him. But I chose the gluten-free meal to try and get served first. I'll be honest with you, because it's never fair, Bri, when you're sitting on the plane.
Yeah.
And it's like you see them coming out, you're starving.
All the special people.
Yeah. All the special people getting served first. And I thought, well, I want a bit of that action. So when Bri said to me, he goes, do you want a gluten-free meal on the plane, Liz? I said, yeah, please. And we were flying from Hong Kong to Auckland, and we were sitting next to this guy. And I don't know if he was from India or of Indian descent, but anyway, he had ordered the vegetarian meal. Yes. And his came, and he opened it, like he's sitting there, I'm in the middle, Brian's on this side. We all get our special meal. Here are, there's a little gluten-free ones for you and your husband. And here you go, sir, here's the vegetarian one. And it smelt, his one. Did you see what he had?
No.
It was like spinach, cheese, curry. It was just lovely.
Right.
We open ours up. What was it?
Yeah. Boiled fish.
Yeah.
And it was boiled fish.
Bland.
Boiled celery.
Oh. Yeah.
Hello?
And I was dying to say to the guy next to us, because he was only picking at it, wasn't even eating it properly. I was dying to say to him,
Can I have some of your spinach?
Do you want to swap?
Yeah.
Do you want to swap? I'm not really gluten.
Boiled carrots and boiled potatoes.
Yeah.
Are you like, is that the best you can do?
Yeah, come on, New Zealand. You are the best airline in the world.
Supposedly the best airline.
Well, they are. Right.
They are. They're my favourite airline to fly. And if anyone is from New Zealand, please contact me, Brian, at It's a Drama, and ask me what the problem was. And I'll speak to your dietitian or whoever it is who makes those food, and you might just lose a job. No.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's
very nice.
Yeah, but the breakfast was just as bad.
Well, do you know what the breakfast was? I honestly thought it was a piece of fish, right? Because it came out rice, which fair enough, you're flying from Hong Kong, you don't expect baked beans and sausage like Kiwis do.
No.
But it comes out rice, and I saw this big piece of white stuff on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're having fish again. And you know what it was? It was just egg white. It was just egg white on some rice.
I'm gluten-free.
It's like starving.
Come on. So yeah, an egg white omelette, which is just like a boiled omelette, not far off it.
Yeah.
Rice and what else?
And
it was boiled mushrooms.
It was quite shocking.
Like,
So we're just putting it out there on record that although Air New Zealand, and this is 100% right, they are the best airline to fly with.
Yeah, economy, they are the best.
They are the best.
They are just
the staff are the best. They give the biggest glass of wine.
Well, you just say, "Can I have 2 red wines, please?" And she hands them over, thinking one's for Liz, and it's like, and Liz would like 2 glasses of red wine as well, please.
Oh, get this as well. I forgot to tell you about this. On the flight to where were we flying to? Thailand or somewhere like that? No, because where were we flying to? Hang on, let me just get this right. We were flying from England to Bangkok. That was it. The wine trolley comes round, and Brian said, what do you want, Liz? And I said, I'll just have a glass of red wine. I said, Brian, ask for 2. So sounds really bad. But, it's a long flight and you just want to...
But that wasn't New Zealand though, was it?
No, I'm not saying that. But the girl, she came up to the trolley. She came out with the trolley and she went, what can I get you, sir? And Brian goes, I'll have 2 glasses of red wine. And she thought he meant one for me and one for her. So she passes him and Brian takes both, puts it on his tray and then looks at me as if like, go on, order yours then. And I went, could I have the same, please? And she's sort of like, I could see this look of, oh.
It was horror, wasn't it? It was just like, no, she ran out of red wine.
Yeah, and do you know what she said? She said, I should have just left you the bottle. And Brian goes, no, you should have just left us the trolley. And she just didn't know what to say. Do you remember? I was like, oh, how rude is that? So, yeah, apologies if you were working on that flight and you got me and Brian. We needed it. We needed a glass of wine that night.
Yeah,
But
Thailand Airways it was.
yeah. So yeah, that was the thing about Air New Zealand. I mean,
Yeah.
I won't be booking gluten-free food again. I'd rather have. Well, no, I wouldn't rather have nothing.
You never know
That's
what they put
that's
in the
not
sauce,
true.
but it's just like, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
yeah.
And the gluten-free bread that came with the meal was just like, it just crumbled into bits. It was like, I don't know, 20 weeks old or something. I don't know.
I'll tell you what,
It's
how
pretty
bliss
hopeless.
was it when we got back to New Zealand and you can go in the supermarket and get that
Yeah.
really nice. The gluten-free bread in New Zealand, I can't remember what it's called. What's it called?
I don't know. I really don't know, but it's about $10
It's not
a
cheap.
loaf. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's not
expensive.
cheap.
I mean, it's the same weight as a big loaf, but it's
But
just
it
it's
is
like a rock.
flipping
but
all over
great
the world.
taste.
We've had, well, all over Europe and well, you can't count Thailand because they didn't even do gluten-free bread, but all
Yeah.
over Europe, nowhere beats this bread that they make in New Zealand. This
Yeah,
gluten-free bread.
polenta and black rice and something else.
I can't remember what it's called,
maize.
but
it's
it's
very good.
really,
Very
really
good.
nice. So yeah, so that was that coming back, and then we'll just get the sad news out of the way because
Yeah,
this was
because
really,
she
really
has been a
sad.
bit of a star of the YouTube channel as well, hasn't
Yeah,
she? Pandora's always
yeah.
been kind of in there, isn't she?
Pandora, our cat. We've had her right from the beginning of moving into this house. We actually bought her
Yeah.
before we moved in.
Before I finished building,
Yeah,
yeah.
she was here on the building site, so that's how long we've had her. And while I was away, Mum said in the last week that I was away, she said, "Oh, Lizzie, Panda's really losing weight. You know, I'm really worried about her." And I was like, "Oh no, it'll just be worms," because you don't want to admit that anything's wrong
Yeah,
with them.
well, you're just hoping that it's not anything else, aren't you?
Yeah. And we came home, and as soon as we saw her, we're like, well, that's not right. You know, to cut a long story short, we took her to the vets. The vet said she's got a tumour.
Got multiple tumours.
Yeah, she's got multiple tumours. She's not going to live very long. And to be kind, rather, what's the word? Cruel,
You've got to
rather
be cruel
to be kind. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too distressing for everybody as
it
well. And
was,
just
yeah.
on her to see her, she wasn't eating or anything, you know, and
No.
it was just like, it's kind of, you know, we tried to liquidize all the foods and stuff like that, but it just wasn't happening, was it?
So yeah, that was really, and that was one of the reasons as well that we've been putting off doing the podcast, because it was just, it was just awful.
It's heart-wrenching, isn't it?
It
Really
is.
It's
just
it's not even nice to talk about. As
no,
such, is it,
it's
really?
not.
But
No,
it's just, yeah.
but the reason I wanted to talk about it, apart from the fact that, out of respect for our beautiful little cat and just, you know, how much we loved her and stuff, was how good the vets were.
Yeah, no.
How good the vets were.
The vets were outstanding. You know, it's just like, do you need us to come and get her and bring her in, and
Yeah.
you know, and all that sort of stuff. And that's a big shout out to Akato Vets.
And I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if that's normal for a vet to be like that, but that's what they were. They said, "You know, do you want us to come over and
Yeah.
like drive over and get her?" And like, you
Yeah.
know, I'm sorry, but
No, I know, but that's it. That's what I'm saying. I could see the way it was going. I
Yeah.
thought we should just steer away from what
Yeah.
we're talking about because it's.
I
not,
did have to.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, so big shout out to Akato Vets.
Yeah.
Because not only are they a great vets, they're a little country vets outside in
Yeah. About 10K away
Ukato.
from here. Yeah.
Ukato is how you
Ukato.
pronounce it, yeah. And they're just always really lovely with us, absolutely lovely. And
They've been outstanding, right? With all
Yeah.
the cats and dogs
Yeah.
that we've had. Yeah.
And I don't think they have to go that extra mile. I don't think that's in their, you know,
No, I
they
don't
don't
think.
have
I
to
just
do
think
that.
they understand what relationship people get to their animals
Yeah.
and pets and things, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a more positive note, Maggie, and I'm saying this because we had a comment on the comments, obviously, saying, "Oh, I bet your dog missed you so much. Please, will you video what she was like when you returned?" So we're just going to show you the return for Maggie. So yeah, she really, really missed us. As you can see, she was over the moon, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Yeah, really wetting herself actually. We've got one girl in the family that wets herself, and we've got one girl in the family that just can't stop crying whenever
I
she
know.
talks about emotional things.
About her dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So this will cheer me up. This will cheer me up a little bit. The most expensive haircut I've ever had in New Zealand. So
And it
go on,
was
Brian.
expensive. No, I'm not. I was.
No, go on. Go and say. Oh, Bryce, smell that.
I know. Honeysuckle out the.
Do you know
the
what?
garden.
Do you know what? Well, I was listening to this interview on a radio station in England, and the girl, she's called Caitlin Moran. She's a writer. She's written lots of books, and I just love her. And I was listening to a podcast of hers, And one of the questions, you know, when they ask people questions about like, what's your favourite colour? What's your favourite smell? And what was her favourite smell was honeysuckle.
Oh, right.
And she goes, but the only thing is with honeysuckle in England is it's hard to come by. It's hard to find because it's always like covered in loads of brambles and you have to go walking
like the
woods.
wild honeysuckle. Yeah.
And when I came home, we've got stacks of honeysuckle around us. It's in the lake.
It grows in the hedgerows where we are, and there's brambles out there as well. There's a little bit of hawthorn as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's just like.
And we have got it growing around the front door. Like we've got an archway of honeysuckle growing around the front door, and I just picked some, and I have got it smelling, and it's just reminded me of just reminded me of what she said. But anyway, the car.
The car.
Go on then. When I feel like I'm doing all the talking and crying. So.
Oh no, it's like when you obviously when you go traveling, you know, you WAF and Rego are up normally when you're away. So I knew that the WAF was due in September. So I'd said to my son, Sonny, can you get the car and give it a wash down and take it and go and get the Rego done, because I know it's out in rural where it was being stored. And I said, and just check the Rego and get the WAF done. And, yep. And he sent me a picture with the car had passed its WAF, and you just think, okay. Didn't really think anything else of it until Liz goes to get her haircut, and Liz was going, oh, where should I park? I said, well, just use the app. There's credit on the app, so just go and use that and just park the car next to the hairdressers.
But the thing is, I was really, you've got to just make sure that they know, because we've just come back from traveling, you know, like when your money's tight and you come back and you've got to buy a big shop, and that costs us flipping thousands of dollars. And
it just does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
and the lawnmower was
broken. There was nothing in the house. It's just like the house has been cleared out completely for renting. And like you say, so that big first shop is $1,100, $1,200 just to get.
Yeah, it was really expensive. Yeah. So we'd spent a lot of money when we came back anyway. And I'd booked this hair appointment way back in the summer, you know, knowing that when I came, because I didn't have a haircut at all while I was traveling, not like Bri, who went to quite a few hairdressers.
As you can see.
But I didn't have a haircut. So I'd had this hair appointment booked. And I said to Brian, oh, shall I just cancel it? I said, it's going to cost like $200, because when you go for your haircut and have it dyed, it costs $200. It's worth it. It's worth every penny for how you feel when you've had it done. And obviously to look so stunning and beautiful after it's been done.
Okay.
But I was like, you know, oh, shall I just cancel it and just cut it with the nail scissors? And Brian's like, no, you just go and have it done. And just all this had happened with Pandora and coming back, and he just said, go Liz, and just relax and just you know, treat yourself.
Yeah.
So I went along to the hairdressers with that feeling of like, oh, okay, it's going to cost $200, but that's fine. You know, I remember what Bryce said. I haven't had a haircut. It's okay. Let's just pay the $200. Park where you said. And you know, when sometimes when you pull up outside a parking thing and you're like, something in your brain sometimes says, doesn't it? Don't park there. Don't park there. Just move it. And I'm like, no, shut up, voice. I am parking here. It's close to the hairdressers.
It's 11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock and I'm supposed to be there at 10:02. I am parking here. So I parked up, 2 hours on the meter, go in the hairdressers, have all my hair done. Lovely, nice. Get to pay the bill, $205, whatever it was. You know, a little bit of a knotty feeling in the old stomach, but there you go. Look in the mirror, make myself feel a bit better. I came out, and there was a white ticket on the windscreen, you know, like a parking ticket. And I thought, bloody hell. Can't believe that.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, I did think that.
Bloody nightmare, eh?
No, I thought, bloody hell. Bloody hell. I'll say it twice.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell. I've just paid $205, whatever it was. And now I'm going to have to pay another $12 parking ticket. Take the parking ticket off the car. And this is really funny though, Bri. Why is it? I don't know if you do this. Do you do this as well? I bet you don't. Whenever I get a parking ticket, I go like this. I take it off, and I've seen other people do this. I take it off and I look around. I go like this.
As if.
I shake my head like this.
Scrumple it up, throw it in the car.
How much is it? Exactly. Oh shit.
Blow away.
Yeah. Do you do that?
Well, it's just embarrassing, isn't it? Because you just think,
who's watching?
I know nobody's watching. No one cares, but some people are, because watch what this person does.
I know. I did. I whipped it off and like this, thinking, $12. Get in the car, like Bryce said. Open it up. $200 fine.
Yeah.
$200. I'll say it again. $200
fine.
fine.
Yeah. For driving a car without due care and attention.
No, for driving a car without rego. Which wasn't our fault, was it, Bri?
Well, I tried to blame Sonny, but it's
Oh, when you just think, I don't believe this. It has cost me $405 to go and have some stupid dye put in my hair. And don't get me wrong, I love Jen, the hairdresser. $400. I felt sick.
It's just a nightmare. It's
What a
just
rip-off.
I know. It's like, why don't they just give you a warning, just saying, hey, but it's not. It's straight with the big fat fine.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking, and sometimes when you get a parking ticket and they give you that thing, if you pay within 7 days, we'll half it or something like that.
Yeah.
I was reading all the small print, nothing. Full fine, $200.
Yeah. And what it makes you laugh is then you go and buy your rego, your license, and it backdates it to.
Did it?
What does it? But backdate, you don't get like, oh, it's been off the road. I mean, you can do a declaration, but I always thought the kids needed the car, every
You
now
should
and
have
then.
just said it's been parked in a farmland. We haven't used it.
No, it's
Farmer's
not.
field.
It's not the point. It's the fact is, as soon as you take it on the road and you haven't got your rego, that's it.
That's a rip-off, Bri, isn't it? It's too much.
That's the government for you.
I know, but $200.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like if you're speeding or something. Oh, I don't know. It was just. It came at. That's why I wanted you to know the story about the hair, because it was
Yeah, but the
at
thing
a
is,
time when it was like, $200, and then it was like double it. It was just like, oh.
Bang.
Sometimes you just think,
like you say, if you've gone 10 minutes over your ticket and they give you a $12 or $15, $30 fine, whatever it is, like you just think, that's my fault. Like, but the rego, yes, it's your fault. It's my fault. I should have maybe, but not. Normally the reminder comes through the post, but because you're not at home, no one opened up the reminder.
why didn't you look? When I was
Do you know
going
what?
out
I
driving,
remember asking Sonny, just check the rego, because I'm not 100% sure when the rego is
but you're
out.
blaming him now. But why didn't you look? As the man of the family, as
Yes,
the driver.
when you get home, the first thing to do is check your rego, but you just too many things going on. That's all it comes
What was
down to.
going on? What was on your mind?
Well, the cat, the dog,
I know.
the extractor was broken in the kitchen, and it's just like, so you spend a day dismantling the extractor to try and fix it, putting it back up.
It's a good job you're handy, Bri.
Yeah, there you go.
No, but it's true though.
Yeah.
It is a good job you're handy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much we'd have to spend if you weren't as handy as you are?
And not only that, Kev, my stepfather-in-law, just brilliant at fixing things. So you got problems with the circuit board, you take it all down. Have you got this? Oh, well, I'll have something that we can fix for that. And it did a really good job.
I'll tell you what though, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I am going to tell them because I've just decided to tell them. Yesterday we came out into the garden. Next door are having building works done, right?
Come on, builders.
Yeah, this is why I'm saying it, because you should actually know better about this.
Yeah, but
Hang on,
I
let
did
me
say
tell
I did.
them.
Go on.
So, right, next door having building work done. Only two young lads, only two young tradies down there, not much older than 24 or 25.
Young jokers, if you ask me.
A couple of young jokers playing their boombox.
Yeah.
Brian comes up. Whoa, they're far too loud. I'm gonna go and tell them to turn it down. He's hanging over the garden, trying to crane his neck like this.
Can you hear that? I can.
See what he's doing. And I was like, Brian, they're just young lads, just on a building site, but you weren't having any of it, were you, Brian?
No, because I always just say, if you're out at a building site and there's no other houses around, you play your music, whatever you want, unless the site guy says, no, you want to turn it down a bit. But when you're next to another house, you just don't play it that loud, especially The Rock, which...
Is that what was bothering you, that it was The Rock?
Be one of the worst radio stations in the world.
That's a bit risky, saying that on television when New Zealand's going to be watching.
Just full of adverts.
What do you like then?
What if I had to...
Dinner jazz?
Yeah, it used to be the hits, but then they just keep playing the same song. And then I preferred Haraki over The Rock, if you wanted to listen to rock. But The Rock is just, I don't know, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, so anyway, you wanted to go over there. You know what that is, don't you?
What?
Getting old.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Old people say, oh, I don't like rock
but it's not
music.
even good rock. It's just, I don't know, people screaming down the microphone it's just like, yeah, come on.
Well, anyway, so these young lads, like I say, blasting, and Brian was like chomping at the bit to go and say something. I had him on a lead like this. Get back. But you didn't go and say anything, did you,
No,
Brian?
I didn't. I just let it go. And they're not working there today, so.
I know, so that's why we're doing it. But the thing is, when you were on a building site, you would listen to your music.
Do you know, you weren't allowed to if there was too many radio boom boxes on the go, so I just used to have a pair of headphones, like proper ear defenders and they had microphones in so you could hear everything. And
What would you do, Bri? What would you do if you went down there yesterday and you went down to those young lads and you said, hey bros, because that's what you say when you're trying to be cool. Hey bros, turn the music down. What would you? And they said, F off. What would you done? What would you done?
I would have just gone and turned it down.
Well, what would you have done if they'd have gone, go near that box and I'll kick your face in, mate?
Would you, an old guy?
No, Bri, what would you do, right, if you went, sorry, what would you do if you went down there, right, and you said, you're just right, moving over like this, and you're like, right.
Well, I walk like that, don't I?
You know, moving over like this, your little gluten-free tummy
calm down.
Yeah, and you said, and you're just about to tell him to turn it off.
Holding my little gluten-free tummy in. What? I didn't. That's not swearing.
Beep that out. And you're just about to tell him to turn it off, Bri.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you just heard, when you walk, and they went like this. Through a storm.
Nobody does that in Anfield.
All
right.
Hold your head. And they got their scarves like this, and they were like that. And they went, sorry, bro, did you want to say something? What would you do then, bro?
Join in.
Exactly. So the problem here isn't the fact that they're listening to music.
No.
It's the fact they're listening to music that you don't like. Because that's the truth, isn't it? Because if they were listening to like a live Liverpool game or something like that, you'd be like all for it. You'd be like, yeah, one of the boys.
It's just because it was the cock. There you go.
Yeah, anyway. Oh, so that's that. So luckily we didn't fall out with the neighbours the minute we came home.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Well, two things I just want to tell you before we go. What time is it? How are we doing for time? Oh, we've got to go now because
it's time to go.
Yeah, it's time to go. Yeah. Two things. One, my son's girlfriend came round for a meal. We had like a get together.
A family get together.
A family get together. She's Kiwi. She's 18 years old. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you know what? She walks in the door. This is so Kiwi. She walks in the door with a big tub of homemade cinnamon swirls.
Yeah.
How lovely is that? I didn't like to tell her Brian was gluten-free.
She did come in and say, oh my God, I forgot. And it's just like,
But I just said, oh, Hannah, that is so Kiwi.
It was.
It's just,
they look so good as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, I had one. I had half of it, and it was they were delicious. It's a real Kiwi thing, that cinnamon swirl. So, by the way, if you are listening to this channel and you are wanting to move to New Zealand, or you want to know more about New Zealand, do not forget that that is our speciality. Well, how do I describe it? We bring people together to make moving to New Zealand
that bit easier.
Yeah.
It just makes it a
feel
smoother
more
path.
connected.
It's nothing. There's nothing better than having a bunch of people that you already know in the country.
Yes.
And there's 200 people in the group.
Yeah.
And it's great. People that on the halfway here, that sort of like, and been living here for 2 years almost, some of them. So it's great.
So that's what we do. If, like I say, if you're not aware of that, we have got a fantastic community of people who are moving to New Zealand or on their way to New Zealand or are already in New Zealand, and they are gorgeous and they support each other. We've got a massive Slack group with all different channels which they help people with questions. We've got immigration specialists in there. It's just the best. So if that is
much information.
If that is something that you would be interested in learning more about, then we encourage you to take our free, this part is free, 5-day video guide about moving to and living in New Zealand. It's 5 little videos that show you some aspect of what life is like in New Zealand. So if you take those free videos, have them on us, just enjoy them, and when you get to the 5th day, you are then given the option if you want to join the membership group. It's a paid for membership group. If you want to join that, we would love to have you. And if not, just carry on watching our free YouTube.
That's it.
Gossiping about New Zealand, life in New Zealand.
And you get to DM us, and we've met Priscilla and Torin today down at the cafe that we talk about.
It was really lovely.
They've just come over from America. Spent the first 5 days up in Auckland and then spent last night in Taranaki.
Also, don't forget as well, if you are a complete New Zealand, if you're just here just for the New Zealand stuff about moving to New Zealand, we've got a dedicated channel, another YouTube channel called NZ Ahead.
It's just got audio podcasts on.
Yep, it's got audio podcasts on, but that's where we really dive into, the practicalities of living in New Zealand. So we interview like teachers and nurses and people who have just moved over to New Zealand or are on their way from New Zealand. that is another great channel. It, like Bryce said, it's just audio at the moment because we do podcasts, but yeah, we might stick some videos up.
Oh,
there.
it will get to. It's just got to catch up with the running time. They're a few weeks behind, and then once by December kicks in, we probably gonna get some videos up on there as well. Yeah,
but that is just made for you, just to help you make that transition to New Zealand easier. So NZ ahead. If you want to get those free 5-day videos, go to www.itsadrama.com/I love NZ. Just have to remember that.
Or or I'll totally confuse you with www.nzahead.com/free.
Is it just the Kiwis that say dub? I've never heard that.
I only the first time I heard it was when I came here. It was probably on the Rock when I first heard it. Someone
Is this a thing that we've got going now, Bryce?
Yeah, well, we can't have a go at Australia because they get a bit upset. So let's have a go at the Rock.
Going at New Zealand's national radio station instead.
Yeah, it's not the national radio station. It's an independent station, but it's a commercial radio station.
What does that mean?
Well, there are lots of adverts every 5 minutes.
Yeah. But that's any radio station, isn't it?
Yeah, unless you got the BBC, of course.
I just want to say as well. So it's been a bit of an up and down week. It really has, hasn't it?
It's just coming back, and just you've got your travel head on. You're living out of a rucksack, just bare minimum things on a real tight budget for traveling, and then you come home and you just it's like you've got to pick up the Wurzel Gummidge head, which is dad and house and cars. Put that back on, and it's just getting your energy back around that. And it's not been easy. It
hasn't. But I know you'll be thinking, so what was it like to be back? And in my mind, I thought that we were going to get off that plane, and obviously when we did get off the plane, in fact it was fine until we got home to the house and the thing with the cat and a few other issues, and it just felt hard. It just felt like we were in a different zone, didn't it?
It did.
Like you've described it perfectly, actually. It's just putting the head on. But I just wanted to tell you this. The one thing that has brought, just that inner peace, just that, I'm home. It wasn't the house. It wasn't seeing the kids. It wasn't, it wasn't all that.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was? It was getting down into the bottom of our garden. We've got a river that runs through. It comes down from the mountain. Yeah, just down there. And for the last couple of mornings, I've just taken, Brian's been working out and doing your thing, and I have taken some time just to go down there, be in nature, listen to the tuis. We've got loads of tuis at the moment.
We're surrounded by flaxes here on this deck.
Yeah, and just watch the fantail. I've done a little video, and I know we don't normally do bee footage video, and we won't be doing this in the future because it is too hard for you, isn't it?
It just takes too much time.
But I just wanted to show you this piece of paradise, absolute paradise, New Zealand bush, that just somehow gives you all these greens and all these vibrant colours and just makes you just feel, I'm in New Zealand. I'm in New Zealand. Yeah, exactly.
Connecting back with New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's just like plug yourself in. It's like, charge yourself up again.
So do you know what? I just wanted to remember that. And I just wanted to tell people, if you are coming, you're returning from us, maybe you're not, but maybe you're returning home or coming back to New Zealand and you're thinking, it's not what I imagined. Just get out into nature. Go and sit down in some bush. Go and just feel take your shoes off and put your feet in the soil and just feel connected. Yeah, just feel connected to New Zealand.
It is. It's touching base again.
Yeah, it is.
There it is.
Okay.
That's enough of the emotional stuff.
Is it ever going to stop, Brian?
Yeah.
What's happened to me?
It's just an age thing.
Is it?
No. You always say about me getting old.
I know. No, it's just been emotional. It has been emotional, hasn't it?
It has. Coming back in the last 10 days has been emotional.
Yeah. So,
I don't think it's even been 10 days. It's probably only been 8.
You time to go now, Bri?
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Yes, we're way over because we're only supposed to do 20 minutes and now we've done way over 20 minutes.
So thank you for being with us. Thank you for I had such a lovely email this morning, a message on my messenger from a guy that just said, I just want you to know because you often say, this is so kind. His name is Lindsay. And he said, you often say, why do people listen to us? Because it is a little bit baffling sometimes that you would want to sit and listen to, you know. And we're very, very grateful. But he just said, we listen to you because you light up our day. And that was so, it was so lovely. Yeah, he said.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you
and
so much.
whoever you're listening with this
He just said you lift us. He said I get a cup of coffee and I listen to an It's a Drama. He's he's a Kiwi. I think you live in Australia. Don't hold me to
mate.
that. You live in beautiful Australia, and and you listen to The Rock. Can you believe that, Bri? He lives in Australia and he's listening to The Rock. He loves it. And
The Rock?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and he supports Everton.
Just goes about right then. Yeah, there you go.
He supports Everton.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's just such a lovely guy.
You just stay there. And don't forget, when you put your feet in the ground, they'll get bit by something.
Until next time, we will see you then. And thank you so much for being here with us. See you soon.
It's a kia kaha. Stay strong. Kia u. Stay true. Much true to yourself. See you again.
Okay, bye.
See you then. Bye.
It's not hard to find out what's going on in New Zealand at the moment. Just turn on the telly and watch the news. You'll see that ministers have resigned and house prices are going down and everything else. But what about what's really going on in New Zealand? What about life on the ground in New Zealand? What's really happening? And they were going at it, these two women. How dare you, the older lady was like, how dare you tell me how I should ride my bike? In this week's show, we're going to share with you 5 things that happened in New Zealand this week, much more interesting than ministers leaving, and share with you what life is really like in New Zealand.